Good morning, children. Today, let us have a new lesson. The title of the lesson is The Little Girl, written by Catherine Mansfield. The story is about a little girl who developed a kind of fear towards her father, right? And the main characters are the little girl named Kesia, her father, her mother, grandmother, and the cook Alice, and the neighbor MacDonald, and the five children, and one more character that comes in her dream, that is a butcher. You know what a butcher is? One who kills animals for selling the meat. A butcher with his knife and rope, that is a part of her dream. So let us go in detail about the story. Actually, here it is about the understanding of one's father. The same this kind of experience you may also have. When you were a small child, your understanding about your parents, it can be mother or father, and that could be changing when you grow up. So there is a universal thing in this story. So okay, yeah, here is the lesson for you, The Little Girl. And before you read, do you feel you know your parents better now than when you were much younger? Perhaps you now understand the reason for some of their actions that used to upset you earlier. The story about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every home. So this can be a common experience for many of us, including you all, right? Shall we begin then? I told you the story is about a little girl whose understanding about the father changes when she grows up. The first feeling is the father is a what you call a figure of fear. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with goodbye, father, and oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. Okay, children, so you may have some difficult words here. Okay, which are the difficult word here? One is fainter. Okay, fainter. What do you mean by fainter? Not clearly heard. A relief here. What is the relief here? Comfort. A sense of comfort would be there. When her father goes out from the home, and when the sound of the carriage becomes fainter, means not clearly heard, there would be a relief, there would be a feeling of comfort in that girl. Why? Because she had fear towards her father. And what does he do before going to office? She kisses her, or he gives a casual kiss to the daughter. And what was her reply? Her reply was goodbye, father. Okay, next. Okay, clear? In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall, bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there and bring me my slippers. So father, after reaching from office, okay, would ask three things. Which are the three things that the parents ask? I mean, her father asks. One is, okay, what is that? First, he would ask for the tea, right? He would ask for tea, then he would ask for the newspaper, and third thing he would ask is slippers. Okay, so these are things that the father demands after coming from office to home. Kesha's mother would call her, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots. Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. And by then mother would call Kesha to mingle with the father. So she would ask her to remove the father's boots. Okay, and she would come slowly from the stairs. She would be on the upstairs and would come through the stairs, and he would open the drawing room. By that time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. What is terrifying? Frightening to the little girl. Okay. Well, Kesha, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? Father would ask her whether she had been a good girl that day. Okay, then further she would answer, I don't know, father, because out of fear she would stutter. What do you mean by stutter? Stutter means difficulty in speaking. Another word equivalent to that is stammer. What is stammer? To difficult in speaking when you have fear. For example, father, mama, mother, you say. Yeah, I don't know what you call in your local language. She never stuttered with other people and had quite given it up, means stop doing that, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. So that's a fear. Okay, because of the fear she was stuttering and stammering. What is the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kesha, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. And actually father was doubtful whether this girl would commit suicide out of fear. So he was instructing the mother to correct her and ask Kesha to carry the teacup back to the table. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. Actually, what's the problem with this girl? Actually, when she looks at the father, his hands are very big, neck is, especially his mouth is, when he yawned. Okay, when father, what is yawning? Opening your mouth to release the air. When you are tired, upasi. In Hindi we call upasi. I don't know what you call in Kannada. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. You know, giant is a rakshas. Okay, so he looks like a very gigantic figure and looking like a giant for the little girl. Okay. On Sunday afternoon, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother, but the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. So in order to mingle with the father, this girl would be brought to the drawing room on Sundays, and what the father would be doing? Father would be stretching out. What do you mean by stretching out? Extend. Stretch out means to extend out. You can stretch your leg, you can stretch your hands, you can stretch your neck. So stretching out here stands for lying on the sofa, extended out on the sofa with the kerchief on his face and his leg on the best cushion, sleeping soundly, sound sleep, and snoring. What do you mean by snoring? Breathe noisily while sleeping. Okay, breathe noisily while sleeping. Many children or many people will have this problem, that is snoring while sleeping. You can see here that father keeping his leg on the cushion, face covered with kerchief. This is called stretching out. mother reading newspaper, and this little girl watching. Okay. She sat on a stool gravely, seriously. What is gravely? Gravely, seriously, right? Gravely watching him until he walked and stretched and asked the time. He would ask the time after getting up, and then looked at Kesia. He said, "Don't stare so, Kesia. You look like a little brown owl." Actually, father compares her to a little brown owl when she stares at her father. What is staring? Looking at something sternly. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So, one day, grandmother gave her an assignment. What was the assignment here? The assignment was preparing a pin cushion out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk as a birthday gift for her father, and the birthday was next week. Okay, children, that is again to make her mingle with the father or be friendly with the father. So let us see what we have learned already. Today we started with the little girl who has fear towards her father because father is not mingling with her. Okay, and what he would do before going to office? He would give a casual kiss to the girl, and what would be her reply? Her reply would be goodbye, father. And the third thing is the relief, a sense of relief that she would get when her father's carriage disappearing. And after coming back from office, the father would ask for three things, which are they? Newspaper, tea, and slippers. And her mother would ask her to remove the boots of her father, and father would also inquire about her performance for that day and would ask whether she had been a good girl that day. And further she would reply with stuttering and stammering, like I don't know. Okay, generally she won't stutter and stammer with other people, but she does it with her father because of the fear. And thinking about her father alone is like thinking about a giant, because he looks very big for her, hands, mouth, especially the mouth when he yawns. And on Sunday afternoon, grandmother would take the little girl to the drawing room where the father would be stretching out on the sofa, sleeping soundly and snoring, and mother would be reading newspaper. Mother reading. Okay, that's it. And after getting up from the sleep, father would ask about the time and compared Kesha to a little owl. Okay, and one day she was kept indoors for rest because she was suffering from cold, and grandmother suggested something to her that was about making a pin cushion as a gift for her father on his birthday. So children, we will go with the next part of the lesson tomorrow. Till then, keep on reading loudly and also make silent reading. Prepare questions and the answers. Also write the difficult words in your notebook. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you.